then it's the mind. That's why we, the insight into the nature of the mind. There's a simile I give of the emperor. Once there was an emperor, very, very powerful, really important, but no one knew what the emperor was. Because every time the emperor appeared in public, had his 5 garments covering his body, had his big boots which went up to his thighs, had his trousers which covered the top of his boots and came up to his waist, had a jacket on which covered the top of his trousers, came down to his wrists and up to his neck. He had these gloves which overlapped the sleeves of his jacket, and had this helmet which covered his whole head and overlapped the top of his jacket. So all those 5 pieces of clothing, the boots, the trousers, the jacket, the gloves, the helmet, overlapped. So you couldn't see any part of the emperor's body. So no one knew if that emperor was a boy or a girl or gay. Don't know whether it was African, Chinese, Caucasian, or Eskimo or whatever. And they didn't know whether he was old or young or what he was, because they never saw him. They just knew he was incredibly powerful. And so the only way they could find out what this emperor was one day take all the clothes off and see what was underneath. And that's the simile for your mind. Your mind is incredibly powerful. It's your emperor. But you don't know what it is, whether it's a girl or a boy or gay, whether it's African, Chinese, American, whatever. What is it? Vietnamese? So you have to take the 5 clothes off. Sight, hearing, smell, taste, and physical touch. Those 5 senses cover up our mind, so much so that we don't really know what it is. So when those 5 senses disappear, then you see the mind. And that is the job of meditation. A lot of times people think, yeah, they understand the mind. You don't. The first time it comes up is when it's like this beautiful light in the mind. That's the start, this understanding what this mind truly is. In the deep meditations, when the 5 senses vanish, the only thing left is the 6th sense, the mind. It's right in front of you. Other senses are gone. Therefore you can understand what the mind truly is. Just like the Buddha's simile. If you really want to find out the properties of gold, the first thing you have to do is purify the gold. So there's no other elements. There's just gold, pure 100% gold. There's other elements, a bit of iron, a bit of tin, a bit of silver. Then you can't understand what that element truly is. You have to make pure 100% gold. And then you can test it, and then you can find its properties. If you really want, this is the Buddha's simile, if you really want to find out the nature of the mind, purify it of the 5 senses first of all. And then see what's a pure, unadulterated, just mind, nothing else. And then you can understand what it is. That's how you find out. When sustaining the